Hey guys, it's the last day of the Holy Forge event, so I'm a little bit more flexible about how many I can do. Before I was being really specific about how many forges I was doing each day, but now I'll go ahead. I'll do a little bit of forging on my weapon, which I already did, but for the most part, I was just using this ring, finishing this up with the regular forges. Now I can't do anything with my regular Holy Forge items until I make an orange halidom or an orange artifact. I'll definitely go for the halidom first. But at the moment I'm kind of stuck because it's very difficult to get divine energies. So yeah, so I'm just gonna start working on this red gear and things. I can also make 2 more pieces of red gear, so I'll work on a brooch and one of the rings. And what else? Oh, and I'll also start refining these, because right now these refinements are just carried over from the orange gear, and so I want to try out some of the red refinements, the stats from those look really big. And so yeah, let's go ahead and do the Holy Forge first. So none of the red pieces that I'm gonna make am I gonna forge. I just want to work on this weapon for now. Maybe I could get some cheap magical attack by doing a little bit of forge on this trinket, but maybe I'll just push for the weapon. It does cost a lot more here though. But each one of the forges on the weapon gives a lot more attack, I think. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. The weapon is definitely the most important. And so yeah, let's go ahead, just forge. Getting really expensive. The red forges get really pricey right now at 4 million per forge. Going to definitely run out of clamps. I sort of wish that this had happened after Class Wars, because then I would have had a lot more clamps. Class Wars is probably my main clamp income after Narendar Remains. So yeah, so those last forges were up to 5 million. And alright. So I can't do any more. I'm not going to get any more of these clamps back from the event. I'll get more of these regular materials. And so yeah, so then I'm just going to upgrade 2 more pieces. That was a nice magical attack upgrade. I'm up to 284 magical attack. My BR is a little bit off today, actually. It should be a little bit more, but I lost all of my titles because I didn't have my U-Demon deployed when the titles went out. So I lost, you know, Balanoi's top warrior and top mage, top 10. So I lost some title BR there, but it's not gonna make a huge difference. So let's see here. So I need to socket or take out the gems in my brooch. Definitely going for the brooch first, because the brooch gives more HP than the rings. I'll do the brooch, and I'll do 1 ring. I guess it doesn't really matter which ring I go for, right? Alright. Alright, go over to upgrade. So I can upgrade one of these. Oh, I can upgrade my artifact to epic, which I'm sort of holding out, hoping that in case I can get a decent chunk of divine energies. I'll make the halidom legendary first. And so here's the brooch. Usual stuff, 30 million to synthesize. And I believe this is the ring that I was looking at. So that is very nice. Socket them so I can have a sort of even comparison. Let's see here. Alright, so only 1 more piece of red gear to go, and then after that, I mean, these materials, the Titan stone shards, you still need to upgrade the halidom and artifact to red, but I think the iron shards you don't need, so I'm not totally sure what I'm supposed to do with those materials after that. It's just another Wartune material that becomes totally irrelevant, I guess. So yeah, let's go ahead and enchant these guys. Of course, that costs a whole ton of gold. So it's probably need about 1,000 of these. So 1,000 of these cows are worth 200 million gold. Okay, so that should do it. I saved some of these. I accidentally got some luck stones from fishing earlier, so yep, so start with a brooch and go for it. Alright, so there's the brooch. Pretty nice chunk of HP actually, so it gave me like 10k BR because HP gives some silly amount of BR. I don't really understand why they calculated it that way, but the U-demons, the moment that they get some HP, their BR goes way up. Another ring. Alright, so got 7 fully enchanted pieces of red gear, getting there for the main gear, and then these two will take a bit. So actually the forges for these guys, I don't know if I can look at them now. Okay, so they're not orange yet, but the forges for the halidom and the artifact actually cost twice the amount of material, so it'll cost 10 of the hammers and 30 of the stoves. So actually, I mean, just collecting a lot of those and being able to use them once the sky is orange will be nice. So so yeah, all right. So where am I at? So that also gave me another like 10k BR or something close to it. That's pretty crazy. So HP really gives a ton of BR. You know, once we start talking about Hall of Fame, which is usually in November, definitely want to stack up some HP into your tune in order to, you know, hit some of those BR cutoffs. Then again, I mean, I imagine that the Hall of Fame cutoffs are going to be ridiculous, like 500k BR gaps between some of them, so might not be totally realistic for most players. Anyway, and so the last thing I wanted to do was do some refinements. So I showed this on the Facebook at some point. So on our Facebook, did I really? Could have sworn that I had one of these done already. Huh, maybe one of my refinements went away. But anyway, so these are all orange refinements. So I'm going to do one refinement. I don't have a ton of crystals to work with. I think next Chaos War, I'm probably going to just put all my stuff into these refinement crystals because I already have the mount for that. So I can get these materials pretty easily. I was talking to Krishna about it, and he was saying that you know, the way that refinements work in the future might be different, and they'll guarantee that your stats will be higher. I don't know about type, but so I think they'll change a little bit. Even so, I just wanted to show some of this. Maybe, you know, for people who aren't able to get as many of these materials, you should wait a little bit and see in the future if refinements are a little bit different. But for me, I'm a little bit flexible, so I'm gonna give it a try. And so yeah, actually this looks pretty good, but let me see if there's any way to sort of compare. So, oh yeah. So here is the defense. It's only 1 star and it's plus 56, and on this side it's defense and it's 10 stars and it's plus 55. So a level 1 or a 1-star red refinement using these elite refinement crystals is better than a 10-star on the orange gear. So this is definitely a great option for everybody. Very easily can use these refinement locks, so that is so that's a good thing. I'm just going to try and get every like pretty decent. No, I don't know about MDef. So even though this is only 1-star, I'm going to keep it. I just don't want to use a lot of refinement crystals because I don't have a lot to work with, and I have 7 pieces of gear that I need to do this for. So I'll do one more here. Oh geez, keep getting strength. Alright. Let me just leave it alone for now because I am a little bit concerned about how many crystals I have. So here's the robe. So let's see if there's anything else we can compare. So a PDEF at 4 stars is plus 221. This is 165. So really, I mean, it's pretty crazy. I'm getting pretty good intel though on the red refinements. So keep intellect. I guess we can keep these guys. Got a defense and a physical attack. Jeez, these. Alright, well I have 4 stats that I like, so I'm just gonna keep it that way and come back to it later. Maybe go with the helm. So these aren't totally ideal, but they're not bad, so I'm just gonna leave them that way. And check out these guys. Alright. And so yeah, for these red refinements, you can definitely get these, so your non-main attack stats, which is kind of weird. So you have to sift through them so you don't get strength. I don't think strength would be a bad thing in the future though, because I think once the dual element sylphs, so like light and dark, or wind, water, or fire, and electro become very relevant, I actually think that having physical attack on a mage is going to be important. I think that's why it's in the refinements now. So I don't really know about that, so I'll just leave it alone. But so yeah, this is good enough for now. Let's see here. This is not so fantastic, so we'll keep the magical attack. And I do one more. Oh my god. Okay, so strength. Alright, and a lot of physical attack. So is it different for the jewelry? Why am I getting so much stuff I don't care about? I don't know if I should just leave it this way or... Alright, so what else have we done? This is definitely already refined. So these strength stats are really pretty tough to not get, which makes my life a little bit difficult. Alright, that's great actually. So the weapon... Alright, so these are pretty wretched. Okay, great. Intel, magical attack. Alright, so I can only do one more refinement, and I'm trying to figure out which one of these has it the worst. You're good to go. Okay, 1 strength stat. Physical attack. One strength. So this is potential. So maybe the helm, and then maybe this guy. You know what? I'm just gonna do this one because I think. Yeah. Sure, I'll take it. Okay, so again, you know, not a ton of crystals to work with here, but even so, I think it's still a BR boost. Not by much, but it's a little something. So I think that's interesting. Definitely once I'm able to get a bigger number of those, probably through Chaos War, I'll try and get some nicer refinements and do that on video. But for now, I think it's good enough to just get a little something out of that. So let's see. Actually, you know, really, did my BR even raise there? It may not have, just because of these physical attack ones. Well, it's alright. So I think that's about it. So a bunch of red gear, you know, almost finishing up, and then now all of a sudden on our Facebook I'm seeing about black gear in the future in the Chinese version. So of course they're just finding new ways to get us to grind out stuff for the gear. So I hope you guys enjoyed and that you got a good chunk of BR out of the Holy Forge event. I think it's really nice that people can, even if you can just get through the first boss of Narendera, to get some of those red gear items and Holy Forge items, to be able to get a good chunk of free BR is very nice. So